Its partners are set to launch a campaign for liquor traders and patrons to sign up on a dialogue in issues of violence against women and children in South Africa. The dialogue is designed to educate and equip men to drive positive change in their communities. The campaign is expected to be launched in at least 4 provinces this month. Let's talk further on this then. We're joined by the National Liquor Traders convener, Lucky Ntimane. A great pleasure to have you in person this time around. Very good afternoon to you, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're most welcome. Let's talk then about this particular campaign. I like the fact that it's speaking to men. You know, I've always said when it comes to GBV, we can't just be speaking to the women. We actually have to be having open conversations with men who are, of course, the perpetrators of gender-based violence. So you've said this has actually been running for 3 years. Let's talk about what you've done in those 3 years. It's called the Tavern Dialogues on GBV. Talk to us more about this.
So this program has been running it's now on its 3rd year, and it's been fully sponsored by Distell, a liquor manufacturer. But what it does is it seeks to position liquor traders as champions in the fight against gender-based violence. We have consistently focused on 4 provinces which find themselves in the high incidence rates of gender-based violence in the country, which is the Western Cape, KZN, Gauteng, as well as the Eastern Cape. So currently we are focusing on 20 taverns, 5 in each province, where we are going to go and talk to men. But importantly, we want to leave a legacy in each and every tavern that we touch on, where we create tavern dialogue forums, where the liquor trader is going to be the chairperson of that dialogue that will take place on a weekly basis, so that we can track the change in behavior. What we have seen in the past 2 years is that, yes, we do have a lot of people attending, but some fall off the cliff, and we are not able to track whether there has been a change behavior.
And when you talk about tracking behavior, how do you do that? How do you track that behavior? I'm assuming that these conversations are actually happening inside taverns. Yes. So how are you then able to track whether or not these men are behaving differently when they are in their homes, which is away obviously from those taverns? How do you track the behaviors?
So in the first instance, we do a pre-assessment to check the understanding of gender-based violence issues and what really gives rise to gender-based violence incidents in their neighborhoods. And then we go and track them on a monthly basis to see if there has been a change in behavior via the post-assessment that we do. So we are looking at doing that for over a 6-month period, so that we can see whether there's been a sustained change in behavior. But importantly, we also need to look at the attitudes. But I must also emphasize that we saw a need as our alcohol industry to really play our part in fighting gender-based violence. As we looked at the statistics that were released by the Minister of Police back in April, looking at the 3 months of January to March, where 10,818 women were raped in a period equating to about 5 women being raped every hour. But also, if you look at those numbers, 1,260 of those incidents were linked to alcohol, which is 12% of all the reported cases. So we need to be able to play our part, because we know that not all gender-based violence issues are reported. So the number can be even more than 12%, but we need to be able to step up the plate as liquor traders and take full responsibility for what happens in our spaces. We need to have taverns operating as safe spaces where everyone is welcome to come and enjoy the alcohol beverage, knowing that they will get home safe.
And speaking of safe spaces, and I know this is another issue altogether, but something that you and I have been talking about, and the last time we spoke via Zoom, there had been another shooting at a tavern. What conversations are being had around that? And I mean, and I wonder at this time, are people even afraid to go to taverns? I mean, what's happening in that scene, since you're obviously quite close to that scene, and people are talking. I mean, I see on social media people talking about not wanting to go to taverns. I mean, what is it like really on the ground?
I think what happens in a tavern is a mirror of what's happening in the township space. Taverns cannot be divorced from the total ecosystem of what townships are like. So what we are seeing now, the incident that we're seeing at taverns, it's actually a spillover of what is happening in our township. It is a very difficult moment for us as liquor traders, because we are not able now to get patrons coming to support us, especially over the weekend. People are genuinely scared. People do not know what is happening, and we are not obviously getting answers from the police. They don't know what's happening. They are also in the dark as us. So it is a very difficult moment for us, because we do not know what to do in order to keep our patrons safe. Yes, some of our taverns have employed security guards, but who can keep out someone with an AK-47? So it's a very difficult thing to have to manage. But we know that most of the liquor traders are now investing in having extra bodies in terms of security guard, but also I think addressing the issue, which is an elephant in the room, the issue of underage drinking, which feeds into the responsible consumption of alcohol. Most of our liquor traders are now demanding IDs for people that are coming into our places, so that we can ensure that we are safe safe in terms of ensuring that people that come into our places of fun are able to be identified as those that are of the right drinking age.
All right, Mr. Ntimane, it's always a pleasure to have you, and thanks indeed for coming in this afternoon. Lucky Ntimane, National Liquor Traders Convener. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.